All right, it's been an absolutely crazy day. Lisa's out here working on her tanks. I've been busy getting this tank up and running. Videos on that are going to be coming soon, along with the light that's up here. Videos are going to be coming on that too. Of course, you know about the 240. It's been crazy out here in the fish room over the last couple of weeks. But today we're going to talk about these, the new racks that I just built for Lisa's tank. Lisa's 2 tanks. These were originally supposed to be mine, but then they became hers. And I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it is what it is. But let me go ahead and show you some footage that I did of actually getting all this stuff cut and getting it put together, or getting the pieces put together. Then we'll come back and I'll go through with you why this is such a strong stand. I've been building them like this for years and they just work. And I'll show you why after we take a look at the other footage. So even though the thermometer said 111 degrees yesterday, I was still able to get all of the parts cut to make these 2 racks. And now it's time to get them put together so that we can get the tanks up on them and let the real fun begin on what I guess is now Lisa's 2 125s. I don't know. So here we are. These are the finished racks. You may notice a difference between this one and this one. That is because the tanks are a different size, and I really wanted that line to be even. So I ended up putting some small blocks underneath just to raise this one up slightly so that the top is lined up. It's one of those things I didn't even know about when I went to build the stands. So what are you going to do? But luckily it was just 1.5 inches. So a 2x4 down there on the bottom worked out perfectly. So I want to talk about why these racks are so good, why it's such an easy design, and why it's a no-brainer as far as the stability and how strong these are. So it's all right here. So the camera is going to want to focus on my fingers, but here's the thing. You have to think about weight distribution. Where's all the weight going? If I was to run this board right here and just screw it into here, or the same can be said for this one, just run some screws through the end into the end grain of this board, you'd be relying on those screws holding all of that weight. But here, instead, you've actually got that weight all the way down. The weight is supported by this piece that goes all the way down to the floor. And of course, the other shelf is in there too. So we could put something really heavy on this shelf too if we wanted to, but it's not really necessary. We are going to put a 29-gallon tank over here to use as a hospital/quarantine tank, but that's for later. But the shelf will actually hold way more than that. I've actually built this rack. I'll try to show it from some old footage. I'll overlay it. I have built this rack before and had no center support, and it supported 2 125s, no problem, with just 2x4s and this one simple design. So again, it's all about what is supporting the top shelf. And on here, we're not relying on just screws. We're actually relying on the weight being sent all the way straight down to the floor. That's what makes this thing so strong. That's what makes it so sturdy. And I could put a lot bigger tank on here if I wanted to. I could put a 150 or a 180 on this tank and it would be perfectly fine. So hopefully all that made sense. I mean, this really is a simple design and it's very strong. It'll hold, like I said, a lot more than what we've got on here. I mean, they're super strong. I have been building tanks like this for years, decades. I've been building fish, because yeah, I build fish for a living. I built racks using this design, multi-leveled racks, you name it. If you look back at our videos from the shop and you see the racks that I built that held multiple tanks, you'll see they're built the exact same way. This is just a tried and true design. It's very efficient, very easy, and really anybody can do it. You don't even necessarily need a power saw. You could cut these by hand. Might not look as good and your arm might get pretty worn out, but simple tools, you could build these very easy. They go together very quick and it doesn't really cost a whole lot of money. Of course, we had a lot of extra lumber laying around from the crate that our 400-gallon came in, so that helped too. But anyway, this was a lot of fun to do this, even though it was the hottest days of the year. But you know, when Lisa says, I gotta go make the racks, well, I gotta go make the racks. That's just the way it works. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. I've done another video on this exact same design. I'll put a link to it. I'll put a card. Is it this corner or is it that corner? I don't know. I'll put a card up there that will link to the other video that I did a while back. I've had people come up to me at conventions and say, I watched that video and I've built like 5 stands on that design. It's one of those things that it just never goes away. I put that video up like 5 years ago and people are still watching it to this day. So that's very cool. And it also speaks to the design itself. It's just a no-brainer. It just works and it's easy. So how many times am I going to say that in this video? I guess it is time to wrap it up. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this kind of video and you want to see more of it, subscribe to the channel, click the like button, do all that stuff, because I'm going to be putting stuff like this out all the time. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.